David had exactly 3 rules for surviving as humanity's diplomatic courier. Don't make eye contact with the Vrex warriors. Don't touch anything that glows. And for the love of Earth, don't sit in the wrong chair. He broke rule number 3 within 5 minutes of entering the Grand Hall of Zinthari Prime. The crystalline throne room stretched before him like a cathedral of light, its vaulted ceilings disappearing into a shimmer of stars. Representatives from 47 species filled the space, their forms ranging from the vaguely humanoid to the utterly incomprehensible. David clutched his data tablet like a lifeline, searching for the human delegation's assigned seating. Sector 7, Subsection Delta, he muttered, squinting at the holographic markers that floated above each section. The symbols shifted and morphed, translated imperfectly by his neural implant into approximations of galactic standard. The problem was simple. Sector 7 Delta didn't seem to exist. Panic crept up his spine as the ceremonial chimes began to sound. In 30 seconds, the Zinthari Empress would make her entrance, and any delegate still standing would be considered an insult to the crown. David spotted an empty seat at a table draped in midnight blue silk, its surface scattered with what looked like crystallized starlight. He dove for it. The chair accepted him with a soft pneumatic hiss, conforming to his human physiology in a way that should have been his first warning. David looked around nervously. To his left sat a being made entirely of geometric shapes that rotated independently of one another. To his right, an empty seat gleamed with an ominous crimson light. The chimes reached their crescendo, and silence fell like a hammer. The Zinthari Empress entered, her 6-armed form gliding across the floor with predatory grace. Behind her walked her court, and among them David saw her, Princess Anna. Every species had their legends about her. The Vrex called her the Blood Dancer. The Thex whispered Death's Daughter in their clicking language. Humanity's intelligence files were more direct. Do not engage. Lethal force authorization pre-approved. Anna was Zinthari royalty, genetically enhanced, combat-trained since birth, and responsible for personally ending 3 separate wars by challenging enemy commanders to single combat. She had never lost. Her body count was classified, but rumors put it in the thousands. She was also, David realized with creeping horror, walking directly toward him. Anna's skin shifted with iridescent patterns, a Zinthari display of something, amusement, anger. The translation database in his implant offered 16 possibilities, none of them comforting. Her 4 primary eyes fixed on him while her secondary pair scanned the room for threats. She moved with the fluid certainty of a predator who had never encountered prey she couldn't kill. She stopped beside the empty red-glowing chair. His chair's companion seat. The one reserved for her chosen champion. "Oh no," David whispered. "Oh yes," Anna replied in perfect English, her voice carrying harmonics that made his bones vibrate. She sat, her battle dress shifting to accommodate her movements, revealing glimpses of the bioarmor grafted to her skin. The geometric being on David's left rotated sharply and vacated its seat. Smart. "You understand," Anna said, not looking at him, "what this means." David's mouth had gone dry. There's been a mistake. I'm just a courier. I deliver data packets. I'm not even supposed to attend the banquet itself. I was just trying to find." "The human delegation is in Sector 7 Gamma," Anna interrupted. "You are in the Circle of Champions, Sector 1 Alpha. The seat you occupy has been empty for 3 cycles since I killed its last occupant for attempting to poison the Empress." The room had gone deathly quiet. Every sensory organ of every species was focused on their table. "By Zinthari law," Anna continued, her tone almost conversational, "you are now my selected champion, my chosen blade, my bonded warrior." She finally turned to look at him, and David saw something unexpected in her primary eyes, not bloodlust but curiosity. "Tell me, human, what weapons do you carry?" A stylus, David offered weakly, pulling the writing implement from his jacket pocket. It's got a laser pointer. Anna stared at the stylus. Then impossibly she laughed. The sound cut through the tension like a plasma blade through butter. It was a real laugh, not the performative display of dominance David had expected. Several delegates actually flinched. A stylus, she repeated. The deadliest princess in the Zenthari Empire, and fate gives me a champion armed with office supplies. She plucked the stylus from his trembling hand, examining it with genuine interest. What's your name, little human? David Restrepo, and I really truly honestly sat here by accident. There are no accidents in the circle of champions, Anna said, but her tone had softened. Only fate and foolishness, and I find I'm uncertain which you represent. She activated the stylus's laser pointer, creating a small red dot on the far wall. Though I suspect both. A low growl emanated from across the hall. A massive Vrex warlord had risen from his seat, his four arms tensing. The human mocks us, mocks the sacred circle with his pathetic. Anna moved. David didn't see her draw the blade. He didn't see her throw it. He only saw the knife quivering in the stone floor 3 inches in front of the Vrex's primary foot, its edge still vibrating with the force of impact. Finish that sentence, Anna said softly, and the next one goes through your throat. The Vrex said. Anna retrieved her blade with a casual gesture, the weapon flying back to her hand as if magnetized. You see, David, she said, settling back into her chair, being my champion comes with certain benefits. Protection primarily. No one touches what's mine. I'm not. You sat in the chair. The law is clear. Anna's expression shifted, becoming unreadable. But I will offer you this. Survive the banquet without embarrassing me, and I'll petition the Empress to dissolve the bond. Fail, and you remain mine until death claims one of us. David's mind raced. This was insane. He was a data courier, not a warrior. His combat training consisted of a 3-day self-defense seminar that he'd mostly spent nursing a hangover. But as he looked around the hall at the assembled powers of the galaxy, at the Vrex still glowering at him, at the whispered conversation spreading like wildfire, he realized something. This was the most HFY situation imaginable. A human, completely outmatched, completely out of his depth, somehow ending up exactly where he shouldn't be, and Earth would expect him to represent. What, David said slowly, constitutes embarrassing you? Anna smiled, and this time it reached all 6 eyes. Survive, David, that's all, just survive. The banquet proceeded in waves of surreal horror. Each course was a test, foods that ranged from the merely exotic to the actively hostile. David watched a Thex delegate dissolve a portion of what looked like angry magma. He saw the geometric being absorb something through dimensional osmosis. When his own plate arrived, Anna leaned close. It's trying to read your genetic code. Show fear, and it will liquefy your internal organs. The mass of tentacles on his plate quivered expectantly. Right, David said, no fear, simple. He picked up the Zenthari eating utensil, a device that was part fork, part knife, part weapon, and met the tentacles head-on. The key, he realized, was treating it like a negotiation. Humans had been eating reluctant food for millennia. He thought of oysters, of uni, of every food challenge video he'd ever watched. He ate. The tentacles tasted like copper and starlight. They fought back, wrapping around the utensil, around his wrist, testing. But David had grown up with 4 sisters fighting over the last slice of pizza. He knew persistence. He won. Anna watched with undisguised fascination. Interesting, she murmured. The challenges continued. A Vrex commander challenged the circle to a drinking contest. David matched him using every trick his uncle had taught him about managing alcohol, packing, breathing, eating between drinks. He didn't win, but he didn't lose consciousness either, which apparently counted as a victory. When a delegate from the Crystalline Consortium questioned Earth's right to galactic representation, David defended his species with every scrap of historical knowledge he possessed, citing humanity's contributions to art, science, and stubborn refusal to quit even when thoroughly beaten. He spoke of cave paintings and spacecraft, of poetry and planetary colonization. He spoke until even the skeptics were listening. As the banquet wound down, Anna stood, extending one of her 4 primary hands to David. "Walk with me." They moved to a balcony overlooking the Zinthari capital, its towers glittering like grounded stars. The sounds of the banquet faded behind them. "You surprised me," Anna said. "Most warriors chosen for the circle are all posture and violence, but you survived through cleverness, adaptation, very human." "We're good at that," David agreed, his heart still racing from the evening's trials. "Surviving things we probably shouldn't." Anna's iridescent skin patterns shifted to something that his implant finally translated with certainty: respect. "The Empress will grant my petition. The bond will be dissolved." She paused. "Though I find myself disappointed." Disappointed. "It's rare," Anna said quietly, "to find someone who sees me as more than a weapon, who doesn't flinch when I laugh, who treats the deadliest princess in the Empire like a person." David looked at her, really looked. Beneath the bio-armor and the legendary kills, beneath the reputation and the fear, he saw someone who bore their power like a burden, someone lonely at the top of the pyramid. "You know," he said, "Earth's diplomatic corps is always looking for cultural liaisons, people who can bridge the gap between species, and I'm going to need someone to teach me which seats I'm actually allowed to sit in." Anna's laugh rang out across the balcony, genuine and unguarded. "Are you offering me a job, David Restrepo?" "I'm offering you a choice," he replied. "Something tells me those are rare for deadly princesses." She considered this, her multiple eyes studying the stars. "I accept," she said finally, "on one condition." "What's that?" Anna smiled, predatory and warm all at once. "Next time you sit in the wrong seat, do it on purpose. I think we humans have much to teach the galaxy about turning mistakes into opportunities." As they stood together under alien stars, David realized that sometimes the most human thing wasn't superior technology or tactical brilliance. It was the ability to find connection in the most unlikely places, to turn accidents into allies, and to sit in the wrong seat with such confidence that the entire galaxy had to reconsider which seat was really wrong. Humanity, he thought, fuck yeah indeed.